Well, I hope there are. Hello, what's going on with the camera now? Here we go again. There we go. It's working. I just forgot to turn the camera on before I start the stream. Should have done that first. It's a burger. Yes, it certainly is. And it's done that thing again. Why is it doing that now? Ah, put some clothes on. What are you on about? I'm about naked. Who's naked? Oh dear. Yeah, well, that was a great stream, Steve. So just check. Just want to check, make sure everything's going. Right. Hopefully, there's not going to be any connection issues this time, which happened last time for some reason. Still have no idea why. X-ray filtered. X-ray filter. Huh? Gotta love those X-ray filters. Make sure it's running. It is. Cool. Looks like we're ready to go. Yeah. Right. Let's start the clock and get on with this, huh? Express elevator to hell. Going down. So. Okay, I know the movie's playing, but all I've got is a black screen. There we go. There we go. There actually was an app a couple of months ago that used AI to turn anyone naked that you viewed through your phone. It was newer. Oh, it was news for like a day, and then I've heard silence. Like it's never existed. It's just one of those things, isn't it? It's live. It's alive! For anyone interested, this is just the normal theatrical version. It's not the director's cut or anything like that, which is a shame. I do wish Disney would put the option to have both up there, but clearly they're not interested in what we want, right? We'll see what they do with Rogue One when if they finally make it. Nice image of space of the blue. Is that? I suppose it's a nebula or some sort of nebulae. The Nostromo's shuttle or escape vehicle. No, I wouldn't great. I would never gonna do that. I would never do that. But, I mean, Paramount are guilty of the same thing, right? They have extended versions of all the Star Trek films and that, right? But they don't give you the option to watch the extended versions. We're pretty sure that pretty much every Star Trek film has an extended version, right? See, that's the job I would have in an alien movie. traveling around in space, you know, rescuing damsels in distress. Oh, look, you see it? The spear gun is actually at the bottom of the door. I think Peacock is the only place that regularly offers extended versions of things as a selling point. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we can get Peacock in this country. Can we get Peacock? Steve, do you know we can get Peacock? I've never really tried. I don't think we can. Yeah, Rogue Squadron. Yes. Because it's something that we want, will they let us have it? Will they make a good movie, or will they fuck it up like they did with all the others? What do you think? And there's a rogue cat sitting in the background. Rita's all in the green. Looks like she's alive. Well, there goes our salvage, guys. Found no evidence of the creature you described. Good. It's because I blew it out the goddamn airlock. Give us some Pepto Bismol. We're at Gateway Station. My banner is a bit jumpy today. Tonight, I should say. Jonesy, come here, you little shit. I'm Burke, Carter Burke. Turn that off. I don't think I need it anymore. I'm not sure what to make of Alien Romulus. All the stuff that's been leaked. Because I keep going on about the black goo. Blind luck. Blind luck. We went out there on company orders. Klingon blood. Why? It's funny. She comes up. She wakes up holding her chest. It was coming out of her belly. It kind of defeats the name, Chest Buster, doesn't it? I just realised you can see Bailey's tail wagging underneath the counter. What are you doing in that case? Hmm? No, not you. Not you. Hey, buddy. M-class Star Freighter. Isn't there an M-class in Star Trek as well? Minchara, not Minchara. Minchara, isn't it? Why would we call them Minchara class? That's a Vulcan name for it. Why do we bother calling it that? Why can't we just say, have our own class for planets? I mean, even in Enterprise, when T'Pol says Minchara class, Trip's like Minchara class. What's that? It's not even an Earth term. It's not a human term. It's a Vulcan term. So yeah, so who came up with demon class planets? The ones that are like really, really dangerous. A living human host. Living host, not necessarily a human host, but a host. Okay, I'm getting a delay in the chat box. There shouldn't be a delay. Okay. Oh, they're technically Y class. Why? Because they gotta. $60, $70 families. 60, maybe 70 families. So there's no single people there then. There's no single guys, no single men, no single women. They're all family, are they? What's that? Bailey's got a hold of something to chew on for a bit. Cardboard. Very good. They obviously want responsible people, not loners. Yeah. They figure we send a family, let them all get infected by aliens and die. Then we can send the single Marines in to save their lives or get killed themselves. Maybe they decide to send the entire families, or all the families, because then they're all in one place, so there's no one to be worried about what happens when they lose contact, right? So there's no one left to ask questions afterwards, right? Yeah, I hope she did as well. Or maybe she just left him in stasis somewhere. Maybe that's the future kennel systems. You know, instead of a cattery, you send them to an animal stasis facility. Hey, it wouldn't cost as much either because they wouldn't have to worry about feeding the cat animals, would they? You could just put them in stasis and then that's it. Just check the readings every now and then in the day. There's a new comic by Paul Reiser set in an alternate universe where he was the only survivor. But Bert was the only survivor. Or Jonesy. Here's a funny story. The first time I watched this, I had a dream. Not a nightmare, I had a dream. And it was actually about a sequel to this. So when did this come out? When did this come out? I can't remember. For some reason I can't remember. 1986. So I probably didn't watch this when I was 6, but I likely watched it when I was a few years old. A few years older, because I would have been 6. Well, I wouldn't even have been 6 at that point. I don't think I watched it until maybe 1990 or something. I think it was on TV the first time I watched it. Obviously, I wouldn't have been able to go to the cinema because I was like 5 years old at the time. You may have watched it from heaven. You don't know. But it was basically what my dream was. That the Sulaco drifted in space. This is before Alien 3 came out. Sulaco docked, was met with some sort of tug vehicle. They were pulled to a station. They docked at the station, and then all of a sudden, the aliens just came off of the Sulaco. But it makes just as much sense as Alien 3 does. Whereas where the fuck does that egg come from? And we'll get to that when I watch it. But anyway, it was all basically based on a space station. And guess what? That's what Alien Romulus is going to be. They're going to be on a space station. Isn't that nice? I should have written a script. I reckon Bishop goes in the stasis specifically so that he appears more human, even though they know he's a synthetic. We know, like, obviously, but what I think is that he's in stasis to give a more relaxing impression of humanity. You know, if he has to sleep whilst they're asleep, then they don't have to worry about him murdering them in stasis, right? They just have Burke for that. Look into my eye. Bishop doesn't go into stasis and looks after the ship while they are all sleeping. I wouldn't be surprised that if that's what happened in the book. I'm tired of sci-fi franchises using Star Trek names. First Andor, now Romulus. Oh god, and I shall ignore the real world implications. I think they're using the Romulus as in the ancient mythology of Romulus, right? Not the Star Trek Romulan reference. It is literally a reference to the ancient god Romulus. Is it a god? It is a god, isn't it? Yeah, there is a god that was called Romulus, an ancient Greek god. I think it was a Greek god. A rescue from their virginity. Like, Bishop, do that thing with a knife, man. Come on. Boy, you never miss, Bishop. Nobody said anything about an android being on board. Why not? How many times did they speed that up again? I know they did it slow, and then they accelerated it, didn't they? I can't remember how fast they changed it. Why is it with Americans and cornbread? Yeah, Romulus and Remus founded the city of Rome. They were suckled by a she-wolf. Although technically Bishop didn't kill anyone, did he? He tried to, but he didn't. I wonder what laws they're using for real-world AI application. Pizza ordered, doner meat and chicken. I am such a slob. Hey, I like the Hawaiian because I don't mind putting fruit on a pizza. But if I feel fancy and I order a pizza, I'll get the special one, which has olives on it. Ooh. Is this another stand-up fight, sir, or another bug hunt? Pineapple on pizza, better together. Yeah. Bug hunt. Bug hunt. Love olive oil. Hate olives. Hey, olive oil is a lot healthier than rapeseed oil. Dude, that's a good question. They should do. They should come. They should. Maybe they'll cover that in the series. Managed to wipe out a crew of how many were on? How many were on the Nostromo? 7, 8. I think 8. There was 8 crew members on board the Nostromo, weren't there? So one alien creature being able to kill 8 people in less than 24 hours. That's not a big thing, is it? It's not a big deal. Assholes and elbows. You'd think that Sulaco had a crew separate from the Marines. Yeah, you'd think there'd be more than one unit of Marines as well, wouldn't you? I mean, you'd think the ship would have a separate crew. It'd be like an aircraft carrier or what's a marine assault ship or something. It would have a large a crew complement as well as the Marines. Because on most ships, even in the US, I think the Marines are there. They're on a security basis mostly, aren't they? I always wanted that. I always wanted that camouflage pattern T-shirt and trousers and stuff. I really wanted to find it, but you can't find it anywhere. Spunkmeyer giggles. Have any of you seen the Hacksmith Industries? They made one. They made a loader, but with tracks, not feet. What are you doing, Bailey? Ah, my favourite sci-fi weapon. And the heavy weapons used a camera mount system. I swear YouTube lies, my video was picking up traction. And then I got on one dislike and it stopped dead. Very interesting. Yeah, they had the Steadicam harnesses, didn't they? I really want to get into hobbies again. I want to start building models and stuff. I want to get a desk in the other corner of the room to use as like a hobby table. And one of the first things I want to do is make a video building the dropship and that from Aliens by Blue Bricks, which I might order next month actually. Bailey, let's see what he's barking at. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you barking at? Come on, show me. Hmm? Come on. What? Nothing. What is it? Oh, there we go. They made contact with the and then killed real aliens for your movie. Express elevator to hell going down. We're in the pipe, 5 by 5. Apparently, he was barking because Baloo, one of the cats, wanted to come in. Rough air ahead. We're in for some chart. I forgot to bring X up. Bailey.
Coffee money.
I heard that. I did hear it. Thanks, Steve. Coffee money. Hey, that's not too bad. That's two quid, and it's a 300-gram jar. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Cheers. Yeah, I had to go. Bailey started barking, and as we know, it's after 11 o'clock, so it's actually a bad thing. But yeah, but I did hear it. Thank you. Seems like you'll both be retiring to California. Not that I understand why. Why would we go to California? Why would we go to Wocafornia? Sorry, that's a bad joke. I actually like the design of the dropship. Um, it's a very practical little design. Bailey, come here. Come here. Stop barking, boy. Huh? Come here. What's going on out there that you can hear? My favourite shot of the APC driving away and the dropship taking off. Yeah, it's definitely Gearborn. I have to make an account to donate. Disappointed. Bailey. Oh no. Something after another. Now he's telling me he wants to go fucking toilet. Typical. Humiliate. We're barking. There's nothing there. Bailey. Nobody yell. I don't think you have to make an account. Or do you? I don't know. Bailey's out go to the toilet at the minute, so I'll have to get up again to shut the door. Looks like Ripley. Looks like come on, let's mess with one of Ripley's bad guys over here. That camouflage pattern, I always wanted that when I was younger. I thought to myself, it's a nice pattern to have, but you couldn't find it anywhere. The only one that came close to it was a very a subdued form of camouflage, or what a distressed form, I think it was. Good question. Um, I think that's still a ways off for Steve, isn't it? Because at the moment now he's monetized. He's monetized the chat, hasn't he? I don't think he's monetized for the other stuff, unless he gets something from the ads that they put on. Sponsorship, basically. That's what I think he's on about, sponsorships. So they bagged one of Ripley's bad guys here. He'd be a great Raid Shadow Legends spokesman. Surfshark, Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah. Is ad read just an Amazon term? I think it is. That's what we called it in radio. Lol. I like the term when it comes at where Newt says they mostly come at night. Mostly. When's it daylight on LV 426? When is it ever daylight? Mostly come at night. Oh dear. This is the garden spot of LV 426. Oh yeah. Just checking the streams. Make sure it's still going. We know the sun does come up at some point because Ash in the first film says the sun's coming up in a few minutes or something similar. Yeah, I remember him saying it, but I think LB 426 is probably so far away from the sun that it's barely makes a difference. Which would make sense. If it's far enough away, then it won't cast as much light, right? it might pass into the shadow of the gas giant for prolonged periods, like the pitch black planet. Yeah, exactly. Don't let the sun go down on me. I know they're lyrics to a song, but I can't remember the song. Motion tracker. Those motion trackers, they're not exactly very tactical, are they? It's not like you can just mount it on the side of one of the rifles, right? Oh dear. You was wearing that so Gorman. I can't remember what the designation of the pulse rifle was. Is it M1A1? M41A. There we go. M41A pulse rifle. Newt. My name's Newt. Nobody calls me Rebecca except my brother. She's not under the ground, she's under the floor. There's a difference, mate. The layout of this place, the design of everything, it makes me realise that it's the perfect terrain for the aliens, right? All that space above and below the corridors. Adrian, how you doing? I'm good, mate. How you doing? Me pizza's arrived. Nice. Well, enjoy it, Steve. Pass us a slice, Wingrace says. It's good that there's actually a pizza icon, isn't there? Newt, my name's Newt. Nobody calls me Rebecca except my brother. Angia. Yeah, so Kerry Henn, who plays Newt, has only ever been in two things. That's this and Thunder Island. She was an interviewee on In Search of Tomorrow. She was an actress in Triborn, and she was a union worker in Thunder Island. Apparently, Triborn is actually in development. That's the only information you can get. Ripley's about to throw hot chocolate in her face. Galaxy's #1 mum. Yeah. Looks like Slingshot is the best way to time travel in Trek. Certainly does. Yay! Actually, it's Helen, but everyone calls me Ripley. Nobody calls me Helen except my daughter. They're dead. Okay, can I go now? Hey, right, guys, and please hit that like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, or please follow us over on Facebook or X. It'd be greatly appreciated if you would. If you fancy tipping to support us, then you're welcome to do so. The link is in the description, or should be in the chat as well. Her name is Ripley. Believe it or not. Hello, Bishop. Do you need anything else? With his bad soul patch. Ah, damn it. I had to shave earlier. I should have left the soul patch there just for this movie. Damn it. It's like a goddamn town meeting. It's hard to believe that they actually built a real life size working version of it, of the APC, just for these scenes. And if I remember correctly, it was just, after the film was done, it ended up just sitting there rusting away, right? Using the chassis from an airport aircraft towing vehicle Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Drawback is when they're on the inside, they can stand up, but when on the outside, if they were standing up, their heads would actually be above the top of the vehicle. I don't know if you guys noticed that, especially when they were when it was supposed to be on the dropship before it dropped. When Hudson was checking the restraints. Lieutenant, Lieutenant, what are those pulse rifles fire? Looks like some kind of secreted resin. Looks like something that Jeepers Creepers would use to make his stars out of when he hasn't got enough skin. Especially the one that ends up in the back of the kid's head. Maybe they don't show up on infrared at all. It was already a heavy vehicle, but when they added all the bits and bobs, it weighed about 30 tons. Probably. Well, maybe, maybe not. Well, it depends on what they used. They wouldn't have had to use heavy material, would they? Creeper's a long lost xenomorph cousin. Yeah. Yeah, but secreted from what? Nobody touched nothing. Lieutenant, one of those pulse rifles fire. Yeah, man, but it's dry. Hudson, a favourite character. Hicks second. Out of the Marines. It must be related to Pumpkinhead too. Oh, looks like the chat box has frozen again. Adios, muchachos. I thought I found a chat box refresh. I think I found it. Where was it? I'll just refresh the crash in the current one. We'll see. When the vehicle was first delivered, it weighed 72 tons. They had to remove 44 tons for lead ballast. Yeah, so it would have been a lot lighter than when they were finished with it. That makes sense. Close encounters. Why are none of the others intelligent enough to carry a shotgun or an old-fashioned weapon of some sort? Why are they always carrying the modern M41A1 or M41A pulse rifle? I think in real life they're even allowed to carry their own personal secondary weapon, aren't they? If I remember correctly. Please. Kill me. So they implant all of the colonists with trackers, right? And they don't think to maybe add vital signs transmission, so they don't add the fact that it could transmit the vital signs of the colonist at the same time. Would that not have made more sense? Because if then they could find that they were all dead, then they wouldn't have had to go there. Star Trek and Stargate have taught me to always pack a regular projectile weapon, even when future tech is abandoned. Well, Babylon 5 as well, don't forget that. Garibaldi's great grandfather or grandmother or something was a police officer, and he had his their 38 special was handed down through the generations. Wailing and tiny cutting corners. Kill me. Could you imagine Newt seeing that on the screen and go, "That's my brother, Timmy"? Let's rock! Hot stuff. Now they're pissed. You killed one of our friends. Can't lock it in. Well, we know from Alien vs Predator they don't show up on infrared, do they? Because the Predator has to cycle through them. Different. Oh shit. Thank God my pants are brown already. There's one. Where? Where's Batsky? I always remember thinking that he's shouting out, "Where's Basky?" But it's not. It's Wes Basky. His name is Wes Basky. I'm talking about when I was younger. For synchronization issues, we are 1 minute 3 second, 1 hour 3 minutes and 13 seconds in. Sorry, I'll get it right. God damn it! Hmm. Now all of a sudden she knows how to operate an APC. Those thick cables coming out from there. I don't think the original vehicle would have been able to do a wheel spin like that. Actually, maybe it would if it had 44 tons removed from it. Maybe it would have been able to do a wheel spin because it would be a
Kapla.
kapla. Thanks, Windgrace. Appreciate it. Nah. I love the sound of those weapons. Damn exchange rate. Yeah. This block, man. We gotta go around. Smoosh that like button. Hell yeah. That's some expensive equipment you just dropped on the floor. I wonder how much one of those old camera harnesses used to cost. I'm melting, I'm melting! Fire in the hole or fire in the hold? Hold. Yeah! Sometimes you forget how much fun you can have watching this film. Fire in the sky. A fire somewhere. Ripley, you're blowing the transaction. You're just grinding metal. Ease down. Ease down. It's where I wonder if that's what does the damage. The fact that she drives over one. Maybe the acid gets onto the axle. If she was just grinding metal, why were you still moving while she was throttled up? Hmm? Hmm? Good film, Fire in the Sky. Yeah, Fire in the Sky is a good film. There's a lot of good old sci-fis. A lot of people just know the more popular ones like um, Close Encounters or some along those lines maybe, but they don't normally go for the less popular ones today. Not from remembering anyway. The fourth kind. Yeah. You'll have the fourth kind. I like some of the less popular ones as well. Like I like is it Saturn 3? I haven't watched it in a long time, so I think it's Saturn 3. I quite like that. Um, among many. Hmm. I think it is just Meteor, isn't it? And yes, then when I first saw the fourth kind, I went online to find out if it was really based on a true story. Lol. There are a lot that have claimed to be based on a true story. Hold it, there's something. I mean, what were you doing outside in the first place? Yeah, Meteor, 1979 was the Sean Connery and Natalie Wood film. I like that, but it's not great. The director of The Fourth Kind does a lot of discovery. Yeah. Yeah. Outlander was a Sean Connery. On some whatever. Got it in one. Section 31. Game over, man. Game over. Oh look, it's daylight. It's daylight outside. I'd be like, shut the fuck up, Bert. Mostly. Mostly. Yep. Dong, dong. I don't know. I mean, wouldn't you want them open just in case the aliens come, come from towards the building from the outside? Yeah, it's not so good considering the counter goes up to 99, right? So it had to be so they had to be out of contact for 17 days before a rescue for another mission can be dispatched. So interesting. We're missing out on the robot sentries. Not yet. They haven't set them up yet. But you don't really see them that much in this version. How far away are they? The first film says they're 6 months away, unless military ships are faster. Well, I mean, if they were faster, then I mean, if 17 days is the amount of time that they are out of contact before a rescue mission is sent, then timing doesn't work out, does it? I mean, if it'll take 6 months for the rescue ship to get there, it's hard to say, isn't it? But mind you, most of the Sulaco is a large engine by the looks of it. So maybe it's got a more advanced engine than say the Nostromo had, or maybe it's to do with the weight to thrust ratio. Maybe because the Sulaco is smaller than the Nostromo, essentially with the cargo platforms it was towing. Maybe the mass is low enough for the engine to produce a lot more thrust, right? Whereas the Nostromo is basically a semi truck, right? Or a truck and trailer, spore drive. Well, yeah, spore drive. That never gets mentioned later in Trek. We missed the test fire. That's what there wasn't in this. This, the same thing that only tells you how many meters away you are. I remember playing the Alien game a long time ago where you have that counter on the screen and you'll have the motion tracker on the other side of the screen. P.S. Zeta Reticuli is about 40 light years away. The final episode of Discovery is all of them lying in the engine room, stoned as fuck, on the mushrooms they ate in episode 3, and it's all a hallucination. Wasn't there like a video clip in the game, one of the games that came out a few years back, where it's representing Ripley's daughter saying the same thing to Ripley before she leaves on the Nostromo. Just put the heater right next to the bed, Ripley. Galaxy's #1 mum. Yeah. Well, it's the future, right? So maybe it's not as dangerous as it would be these days. Anyway, it's more of a night light than a heater, right? Chat box hasn't come back up, has it? Bloody thing. In the same room as the facehuggers. I wouldn't sleep a wink. Are they though? Because I wouldn't have thought Ripley would want to be anywhere near them, right? So why would she let Newt sleep in the same room as the facehuggers, even though they're in a container? I can't sleep in the same room as a banana, let alone facehuggers. Yeah. Always thinking of the bottom line. She said 157 colonists, yet there seem to be thousands of aliens. Does the numbers work out right to you guys? Right to the wall. Don't look at the camera. Don't break the third rule. The third wall rule. Emergency venting. That's a funny thing. You would think that emergency venting would be be there to prevent the thing from blowing up in the first place. Otherwise, what's the point in having emergency venting if it's not going to stop it from happening? I didn't count the aliens. They only had 3 suits. Yep. Yep. See, that's the thing. There are two drop ships on the Sulaco. They came down in one. The other ones. So there must be more Marines on board, right? At least another squad. Another squad, another pilot, and another co-pilot, right? Or navigator. Slowing the meltdown, giving time to evacuate. I may be synthetic, but I'm not stupid. Unless you're programmed to be stupid. If I remember correctly, didn't they actually seal it as well with the sparks and everything? Actually, and did he get burnt or something when they was when he was in the pipe? I can't remember. That more hot chocolate. But stay frosty. I gotta go back. I gotta go home, so I can be sent in time to sleep with Sarah Connor and become father of the future. That's right. I'll do us both. Well, first you have to learn to strip it down and clean it. Then you have to know how to put it back together so it works properly. Then you need to become an expert marksman. And I thought he said that they had 50 rounds each. That says 50. That says 42. You started this. Show me everything. I can handle myself. Yeah, I noticed. So one of the few pulse rifles that they have gets given to the woman who hasn't actually fired one. Or markswoman. Yeah. Answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. Yahweh? Yeehaw! Yep. Too right, man. Too right. Just realised I haven't watched this week's Halo. I haven't watched today's um, Masters of the Sky Air either. I'm waiting for Constellation to all be released so I can just binge it. Ooh, lightning. Who knew that they would put Tesla coils outside of a building like that? This must have been way before Tesla. Elon Musk didn't put AI in one of the dropships to say, look, you press a button and it comes down to you automatically. Yeah? Why would you put the gun on top of the bed on the bed with you, or on top of the bed? Especially if you're going to be under the bed, you take the weapon with you, wouldn't you? This is what I mean. I don't think they were in the same room as the facehuggers. I think the facehuggers were thrown. The containers were thrown in there because I'm pretty sure that they were in the other room, one of the side rooms. Yeah, it must be heavy sleepers. Who wouldn't fucking be in that situation? Just saying. Yep, being a smoker saves their lives. Exactly. I mean, a facehugger can't be that strong, can it? Christ, kid, look out. I mean, I think that people should carry a lighter anyway, regardless of whether they smoke or not. Because they might find themselves in a situation where they might need one, right? I mean, more often than any. And it's all right saying, "Oh yeah, best to have a lighter or matches in the house, but keep them with your candles, right?" So it just happens to be that they'll arrive, they're infested, and all of the soldiers would die mysteriously when their freezers malfunction. Hmm. I remember messing around with the motion tracker app on my phone when that came out. It's a shame they never worked for real. That's maybe right. Hmm. That's moving all over the place. Ripley, let's go. Yeah, remember short control bursts. There they are. Someone actually built a real one. It's in America. A gunsmith actually built one, and they used the parts from a Thompson, which is the donor weapon um, for the pulse rifle anyway. And when they did the video of them actually demonstrating it, test firing it, it did actually sounded like the pulse rifle. Actually sounded like it in real life. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find the video on YouTube if they haven't taken it down because it's about a gun. Hudson! I haven't seen the chat move for a while. Is it still working? Oh, Blue, you have to get in the way. What? As I'm messing around. But got what he deserved. Still here, was watching the film. Yeah, me too. Blue, get your ass out of the way. Blue, get your ass out of the way of the camera. Yeah. And eating a pizza. Yep, of course. A bit worried there because nothing was going on. No one was chatting. So, how you doing, buddy? Huh? ETA 16 minutes. 16 minutes. Eat and a half, saving the rest for tomorrow. Oh yeah, can't beat cold pizza, can you? Well, there is one way to beat cold pizza, and that's having it whilst it's still hot, but that's besides the point. It's the best part of having a pizza though, is having it for lunch or something the next day. Some people have it for breakfast, but I don't have it for breakfast. I think it's a bit too heavy to have for breakfast in the morning. You always were an asshole, Gorman. Well, saving for later today then. Yeah, later today. It is Saturday now, isn't it? Please, guys, if you like the video, please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Or on Rumble or X, just, hit the follow button. It'd be greatly appreciated. The unnecessary water mill thingy. I mean, why is that thing even there? Is it supposed to be some sort of ventilation fan or something? Doesn't seem very practical. I know it's there for a reason. You always were an asshole, Gorman. Just put your foot on it. My God. That's it. Lost a weapon. Yeah, grab the coat that's bigger. That's too big for her because it's yours. At what point did she tell him that she gave Newt the tracker? Anyway, doesn't Newt already have a tracker implanted in her somewhere? Can't they like just change the frequency on their thingy? He managed to get his weapon out though. It's funny because ever since this scene where the alien were coming up, people wanted to see the aliens in water. So when Alien Resurrection, Alien Resurrection came out, they decided to have a part where they're swimming in water. Hicks. So clearly it can't track anything underwater. They don't kill you. They don't kill you. She's not dead. They don't kill you. Mr. Bond. No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die. Tutson, sir. He's Hicks. So curious, if their blood is acid, then when it starts melting, doesn't any of the acid become air? It become part of the steam, so it would make it like a toxic or something. I would have thought. Maybe wrong. We're not leaving. We're not. I did all this for nothing. I'm sure it doesn't smell very nice. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, did they probably just use steam or something, didn't they? Like a smoke machine. Just for steam, though. Maybe they boiled a kettle in the lift a lot. Oh, I just realised that that one's black. The platform is becoming too unstable. Oh. So if they're the United States Colonial Marines, right, the USMC or USCMC, does that mean that every country on Earth has their own colonies? Blue, you're being a pain in the ass. The cat's hungry. Why did they come in now and do it? Blue. In the butt. I'm back. Nothing's happened yet. Know that much. Ugh. I doubt that. In fact, the only character in this that has an English accent is actually Newt. And that's only in a certain scenes. Like when she was saying that there were no, that mummy always tell, her mum always told her that there was no such thing as monsters, but there are. Did you hear the British accent come out? I kind of like to think that in Alien, Ash was British for more than one reason, because it would be more like the Merchant Marines, right? Had you a Brit in the last movie? Yeah, but Newt has a British accent in certain scenes. Just saying. You don't believe me? Go back to where she's talking about monsters, laying in the bed, and you'll hear that she has a British accent there that they're trying to hide. Yeah, well, the United States may have the entire world, but we have the entire universe. You know that because the moon is full of Brits and one American in 1999 when it broke away and started traveling amongst the stars and then came back. I haven't got to that bit yet. I heard it sounded just like James Doohan. Yeah. You all right, buddy? So, did you know, Windrace, that the American P-51 Mustang only exists because when the Royal Air Force was given some American P-38s, which was the predecessor to the Mustang, and stuck a Merlin in it, they solved the problem that your Americans were having with the Mustang. And the reason the P-40 Warhawk became such a big deal as well was because Brits put Merlin engines in those as well because we had tons of them but not enough planes to put them in. Then you Americans decided you would build the Merlin engines because we would give you the plans for them, and then the P-51 Mustang was born. I think there was like one P-40 Tomahawk, which is the P-40. Should have just stuck to Zeppelin warfare. Yeah. So one of America's most loved warbirds from World War II is actually only exists because of the RAF and Rolls Royce. You bun. You right, bye. Ah, nice hot coffee because I made one whilst I was up. Hey, Steve went off and got his pizza from the door, didn't he? So why didn't I make a coffee? The reason that is all over the place is probably because he's an American kid that was being raised in Britain at the time. Yeah. Mind you, there are some YouTube videos on there that actually you might be surprised. There are videos like titled, what was it? Um, Amer Actors that you wouldn't believe are British. There's a lot of them. every actor in every movie in the last 20 years, pretty much. I doubt it. I don't think so. I think quite a few actors that you would consider to be American are actually British. Some are obvious, but then some are actually so. We're an island of thespians, darling. Oh yes, darling. Darling Buds of May. Oh, I loved that. I used to like that show actually. Darling Buds of May. Catherine Zeta-Jones' first ever acting job. Typecast of The Wire. Lol. Mother! There she is. Get away from her, you bitch. I'm sorry, I ain't got to that bit yet. So we saw the egg sack, and we saw that she dropped the egg sack, and she's walking along. She's got no eggs in her hands or anything. There's nothing there to show that she has eggs anywhere on her. Yeah. Why does the chat box always mess up? It's bloody annoying. Bloody chat box. God damn you! See, the Queen's not even in that elevator because that flame, that fire would have made her scream out, wouldn't it? And it's not a couple, it's one egg. Here's Mummy. A spare. Right, we know that the dropship has like a Gatling gun in the nose, right? It's kind of like the GAU 8 on a A10. So why didn't Bishop come up facing the lift, see the alien, and go, right? I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna spray that with round bullets. Malfunction in the landing gear. Repeat. Caution. Landing gear malfunction. Error. Landing gear not retracted. We have a winery here called Cloaca. I always called it a Cloaca, and nobody he ever gets it. Yeah. Kalawaka. I also always call the cougars at a zoo melancamps. Melancamps. To silence. Okay. Androids in the alien universe must adhere to Asimov's 3 laws of robotics, maybe. Yeah, but does that represent non-human life? What he already said, he cannot allow to harm. He cannot harm or allow to be harmed a human being. That's what he says, right? An alien, fine, kill it, right? Little ditty about Jack and Deanna. Yeah, yeah. I guess it's a different variant. Maybe this I don't. Maybe this dropship doesn't have a ramp. It has the side door. Maybe. Psst. All that milk. Life goes on. The only one of his songs you know. Okay. It's a shame the chat's not working. I've only got one notification on here and it says fresh looks for spring break. It's annoying that they don't show up. Excellent connection. Get away from her, you bitch! The queen threw my legs over there, then she threw my body over there. That's you all over. Yeah? I might do, if I hear it, talk about the song. Alright. Hurt so good. Come on, baby. Make it hurt so good. Sometimes love don't feel like it should. You make it hurt so good. What the hell? Don't recognise that. Also, small town is a big one. They will be these days, especially in this country, where small towns are now becoming big towns because they're building new developments for housing, and building entire estates now and they're not updating the infrastructure. So now the government is talking about fining the water companies because they're dumping dirty water in the rivers. But it's not the water company's fault. It's the government's fault for allowing so many homes to be built in the first place without updating any of the existing infrastructure. Like, it's all right with them saying, "Oh yeah, but we put drains in." It's like, yeah, but the drains have got to go somewhere. They've got to go to the water treatment plants and stuff like that, right? So, just listened on YouTube. Nope, didn't know that one. He was probably bigger in the US than over here. Probably I know most of them from movies, so assumed they were big soundtracks songs. Yeah. Just happens to be right next to the handle. Ripley has a thing about airlocks, doesn't she? Probably. I know most of them from movies, so assume. So yeah, yeah. Hurts So Good was in Footloose. Lol. I don't remember it from Footloose, but maybe. Never watched Footloose. Shock horror. Fuck you, no. Fuck you, no. Steve, you never watched Footloose. Wow. You would think that there would be some sort of system to automatically close an airlock if there was a breach like that, wouldn't you? How does she know what buttons to press? I mean, she's not a military officer, is she? So how would she know what buttons to press? Cheaper not to have that sound system. Yeah, it's redundant. No point having redundant systems. It's almost as bad as having a grate on the floor which isn't secured. She read the manual. Probably. I mean, think about it. When she blew up the um oh fuck's sake, what? When she blew up the Nostromo, she had to read the instructions on how to blow it up, right? What's the point on that red button on top of the see-through cover? Is it some sort of lock? Because that doesn't make much sense because there's no wires going to it to do anything. So weird. No, I don't. I think I noticed it before, but it looks like she has a mole sort of just inside her hairline. Sigourney, I think. I mean, just sort of just around about there-ish, just inside her hairline. Yeah. Oh look, you may also like Prey. No. Well, that's fun as always. It's always enjoyable to watch aliens. But yes, next Friday it will be Predator. And Steve mentioned that earlier, but yeah, I was planning on doing Predator anyway. I'm watching the Alien and Predator films in release order. No, Wind Grace, it's not a double feature. No double feature. Not for these anyway. That'll go too long, and people need to go to sleep. If I was going to do a double feature, I'd probably go live at around about 9 o'clock ish. And you know, sometimes it's difficult to go live at 9 o'clock because there are so many people out there that make great content, and they're usually live at about 9 o'clock ish. You know, at least 3 times a week. 3 to 4 times a week, I should say. So I mean, it's difficult, but yeah, a 24-hour Stargate stream. Let's see, how many episodes are there, and how long are the episodes? But there are 22 episodes of SG-1 season 1, and they're all 40 to 50 minutes long. You could probably get through one season a day, right? In 24 hours. Crikey, who are these nutters? Do the movie and the first season. The movie and the first season, so you're talking about more than 24 hours. That'd be at least 25 hours, right? Because I'm thinking that maybe season 1 of Atlantis, season 1 of SG-1, I mean, would be 23 hours. And just add 2 hours for the movie. I know it's not quite 2 hours, but roughly 2 hours for the movie. And you're talking 25 hours, so you've gone over. You've gone over, mate. You've gone over. And who cares about the movie? I mean, honestly. Without commercials, that might work. It might do. I mean, I don't. You know, if I stream it, it won't have titles. It won't have adverts or anything. The episodes are only 44 minutes without ads. Yeah, but the problem is the only way I can stream it over here is if I actually watch it on MGM. But I think there are ads on MGM at the moment. I think there are ads. Check. Good Prime. I should have MGM. MGM, yes, there it is. Stargate. Stargate SG-1. Free watch with your MGM subscription. So I won't have ads then. I don't think. But that's a long stream anyway. But I forgot, Children of the Gods is feature length. Yeah. Unless I watch the original 2-part pilot for the season 1, which I believe is possible. No, they on MGM. It looks like we actually have Children of the Gods as the pilot, so it's a full feature. Well, yeah, they are pretty much 44 minutes long, aren't they? They are 44 minutes of every one so far. I haven't seen any that are over 44 minutes. It doesn't show a total runtime on Amazon, on MGM, does it? No. But in saying that, it won't be 44 minutes, will it? Because when they calculate the 44 minutes, yeah, when they calculate the 44 minutes, they include the post credits and the end credits, don't they? They actually include all the credit time. with Amazon, but you can skip the introduction. You can skip the end credits. In fact, it only takes MGM through Amazon a few seconds to go from the end of the episode to the beginning of the next one. So it doesn't play the credits anyway. So you can take away probably 4 to 5 minutes for that as well. So it's even shorter. And yes, it would be with the boobs, and I wouldn't need to worry about it because it won't be on the screen, will it? Yes, it won't be on the screen, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. The only thing I need to do is make sure that you guys can't hear it. Thing is, my timer. I think my timer only goes up to 3 hours, so I'd have to find a 24-hour timer, wouldn't I? My Daniel. My last name is actually Daniels. We can't hear the boobs. Exactly, you can't hear the boobs. You can't see the boobs. So there's no problem with that. But I've got things to do right now. I've got things that I'm going to watch anyway. I mean, I'm doing. What am I doing on Monday? Monday I am watching. Oh yeah, Star Trek 6: The Undiscovered Country. Wednesday I'll be doing Star Wars. No, not Star Wars. Solo, a Star Wars story. That's what I'll be doing. Because so with Star Wars, I'm going chronologically as opposed to release date. And then Friday, Predator, going in release order with Alien. So it'll be Predator, then Predator 2, then I'll be back on Alien 3. Then I think Resurrection, and then it's Alien versus Predator, then Alien versus Predator Requiem, and after Requiem is it Predators, then Predator, as in the Predator, not Predator. If I remember correctly, is it the Predator then? And then after that, Prey. I can't remember. I think that's the right order, isn't it? Not all at once, not all in the same day. Well, could do, but no, I won't. Do Halloween Resurrection instead, just to mix things up. I mean, I can change it up. I mean, there's no problem with that. It's just I don't want to do one every day again. I just want. So I mean, I could switch them up and do something different. Happy Halloween, motherfucker. Well, I know you might be joking, but I could do that. There's no reason I can't. I mean, I could do something like. Well, what I'll do, right? Because next week on Wednesday I'm doing on Monday I'm doing the Undiscovered Country. So once I've done Undiscovered Country, maybe I can take a break from Star Trek after that, because then I can have like a gap in between the TMPs and the TNG movies, because it'll be First Contact after that, right? So if I have a break in between, I could do say something different. I could do something. I mean, it's 2 weeks, so I've got 2 weeks to think of something. So I can do a 1 week gap, I suppose, for Star Trek. You caught on to that, did you? I said First Contact, didn't I? No, I'm not skipping Generations, although I wish I could, but I'm not going to skip Generations. But that is going to be what will come after Undiscovered Country, obviously. It's just I just prefer First Contact over most of the other ones. I mean, Nemesis is okay. Insurrection is meh in a lot of places. So I mean, First Contact is probably is my favourite of the TNG movies. That's all. Just watch All Good Things instead, lol. Yeah. Ah, still got bloody headphones on. I don't need them on. uh, right. Oh, so yeah, I might do a gap in between the Star Trek movies. So when I do after I've done Undiscovered Country next week, the following Monday I'll do something else. I'll think of something. Insurrection is the only TNG movie you don't really appreciate. Oh, okay. It has a couple of moments. It has its moments. I think the when the uh what were they called? What are those smaller warbirds that they have that they introduce in that? I can't remember what they're called. Mogwai. Uh, they're nice looking ships. Bit bit thin, but they look nice. And the Enterprise E is by far my favourite looking of the Enterprises. Um, the NX-01 second favourite. I just like the designs. I think they look better, so much better than the others. Um, but yeah, but they all have their moments, don't they? They all have their moments. They all have their moments. I mean, for the motion picture, it's probably launching the refit Enterprise was one of the moments in the motion picture. The first appearance of the newer D7. Well, no, they weren't D7s. Were they Cavort class battle cruisers for the Klingons? Then after that, it's probably seeing the Enterprise flying through space. You know, there's not a lot about the motion picture that actually stands out other than that sort of stuff, followed by the refit and then probably the sea. Yeah, I'd probably say that, yeah. I'd probably say the refit, then the um, original, then maybe the C, then the D. The D will be last because I don't like the look of the D. It's the saucer is too big, or at least it's not too big. It's too wide for the ship, in my opinion. But it's not my favourite. Doesn't you know? It's supposed to be a starship, not a luxury liner, right? Oh dear. You like the J? I like the Titan A, but I don't like the Enterprise J. Oh no, it's the G I was thinking of. Sorry, I got that mixed up. We didn't see the F long enough on screen, so that's a shame. But it's a nice design. Bit bulky. The Titan A is great. Not as the no, the Enterprise G is terrible, but the Titan A was it grow. The Titan A grew on you, right? And then they did it a serious injustice when they decided to change it to the G. Um, I thought that was a disgrace, actually. All in honour of the Captain Picard. Why? What's the point in that? I mean, I mean, surely there would have been a new ship on the line, and because Picard saved the Earth again, or saved the galaxy again with the Enterprise D, I would have thought that they would have maybe either refit the Enterprise D or an entirely new ship that was already meant, which was meant to be called something else, was redesignated Enterprise. That would have made more sense. Don't just change the Titan A, which has earned the A suffix or prefix in the first place, because it's a legendary ship. It wouldn't be given the A prefix, would it? If it wasn't, if it didn't do something important that stands out. It's like the Enterprise A only exists because the Enterprise was such an important vessel throughout the galaxy. It's well known how many times it saved the Earth. Exactly, it earned its stripes. Exactly. The whole point of a ship deserving to have the legacy carried on is because it earned its stripes. Exactly. It earned that A, and then you decide to call it the Enterprise fucking G. Seriously? Who the fuck put that in your head? It would have been better to have Enterprise have a new ship launch as the Enterprise. That would have been better. Although I can understand why they didn't do that, because it would have meant that if they did go ahead with Star Trek Legacy, people would want to see the new Enterprise, right? So they, instead of keeping it as the Titan A and having that be Star Trek Legacy's ship, they wanted it to be the Enterprise G, because you can't have a show unless it's got the Enterprise in it, right? Maybe it was the USS Cleveland, they could rename it. Yeah, exactly. If it was the USS Cleveland or something. Like something that didn't have an important name. But like I said, it would have, for an Enterprise, it would have made more sense if it was a new ship fresh off the line, right? Fresh off the production line. But the Titan A, no. The Titan A was fairly new in season 3, right? It was a new ship made from old parts. Really? They still had parts from the TNP era inside the nacelles. Really? Why? It's a ridiculous idea, if you ask me. Alright, anyway. It's time to go. They claimed the same with the new Stargazer. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, with the Stargazer, it would have made more sense because, I mean, it was a four nacelle ship. Maybe it was an homage to a time when an earlier time when everything was still like a Renaissance period in Star Trek, right? I mean, TNG, the motion picture era was like a Renaissance era, right? Compared to TNG. No, they don't understand refit. There's a difference between refitting and redesignation. I reckon it's just because, was it the Yorktown that became known as which became the Enterprise A? Was that the Yorktown, or was it that other ship? I can't remember. I think it was the Yorktown, which was slated for decommissioning. So it was decommissioned, and then they renamed it Enterprise and gave it to Kirk, right? I don't dislike the design, but they claimed the one in Picard season 2 was the same one as Picard's old ship. Terry Metalis is overrated. Well, yeah. And the Sao Paulo became the Defiant. Yeah, because the Defiant was destroyed, then the Sao Paulo became the Defiant, then was destroyed. So the Defiant we see in First Contact, I guess. is not actually that. It's a different ship. Because how many times can the Defiant be destroyed and brought back? The Defiant crashed. They salvaged it, brought it back, and rebuilt it. Then it got destroyed. Then they gave them a new ship, which was the Sao Paulo, which was the original name of the class. So it was the Sao Paulo class. So that was the first ship of its class. And here's the thing: the Defiant was supposed to be a prototype, but there were 3 of them. There are 3 prototypes. The third one looks different. The third one had different nacelles. We also saw the Defiant and Enterprise E maybe get destroyed in Prodigy. Yeah, that's true. The Enterprise E being destroyed is a good reason for them to have the F, but at the same time, that shit. I don't like the fact that they would destroy the E. I reckon the E should have been retired gracefully. And why do they keep decommissioning ships after 10 15 years? I mean, we've got ships sailing on the oceans that are 40 years old in the Navy. They've been refitted multiple times, refitted. So why can't they do that with other ships, with ships in Trek? Because every now and then they need a new ship, a new design to refresh the show, right? Are you sure about that? Because I kind of remember it getting blown up. Both of them. Maybe if they stopped decommissioning things, they'd have more ships in range. Yeah, more ships than the Enterprise. And what happened to why wouldn't Starfleet have a fleet stationed at home, close to their headquarters? I mean, because you think about all the ships that we had in in Enterprise. In the Enterprise show, there were other ships that were less powerful than the Enterprise. There were like ships with like warp engines, but they could probably do no more than warp 2 or something like that, maximum warp 1, warp 2. But they didn't need to go high warp because they were basically like a solar system, a system-wide defense fleet, right? So they're a home defense, right? So you don't need the larger, more powerful ships to be there to protect your home. They are the large ships. You send them out to do the exploration and do the fighting. The smaller ships, less advanced, less powerful, you keep them back home. That needs as like a home guard. First contact was before it was blown up in DS9. Yeah, but we still don't. But because it was in a movie, we don't see the E or a sovereign class. And bear in mind, the Enterprise E is a sovereign class, which means that at least one ship was launched before the Enterprise, and that was the USS Sovereign. Because the first ship is always the name of the class, right? The Sovereign class. Constellation class, Constitution class. Each one, the first ship, is of the same name. Sao Paulo class, Sao Paulo. Queen Elizabeth class. It's like with the new submarines that the Royal Navy are building. It's the Dreadnought class. So the name of the first one of the submarines is this HMS Dreadnought. It's taking the name from a previous ship that we had, a battleship or battle cruiser named the HMS Dreadnought long time ago. I mean, before World War II. We haven't had a ship with the name Dreadnought since. But I mean, we should have at least seen the USS Sovereign, a Sovereign class, just like the Enterprise E, in DS9. But because CBS and Paramount were at odds, and they wouldn't intermingle, they wouldn't allow everything to come together until First Contact. I saw the Sovereign in DS9 on a display screen. Yes, didn't actually see it. But they wouldn't allow them to have the Sovereign class on DS9 because of the issues that they were having. Because Paramount were doing the movies and CBS were doing the shows. They weren't working together. They were far from working together. I'm actually surprised that we had the Defiant in First Contact, to be honest. Tough little ship. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. But okay, guys, it's late here. It's coming up to 10 to 2 in the morning. So I'm going to be shutting down because too tired. Thank you, Steve, for the £5 donation for coffee money. And thank you, Win Grace, for tipping £1.57. Gapla. And yeah, much appreciated. So please do hit the thumbs up, give us a like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You can follow us over on Twitter or X and Rumble if you prefer. And you can also tip should you choose to. Links are all in the description below or in the chat. And yeah, there are links in the description to the merchandise stores that I have. There are 2 of them. One via Streamlabs, one via Spreadshirts. Or Spreadshirt, I believe. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, until next time, guys, stay safe, take care, and may the Schwartz be with you always.